Revolutions are like batteries. Without a spark, nothing is going to happen. Without a spark, batteries can't give off their juice, and revolutions can't begin to change our lives. If there is nothing that needs change, then nothing will change. If a revolution wasn't needed, then it would have never started. And if we didn't need a way to store energy, then a battery would have never been invented.
In 1886, scientist Carl Gassner invented the first dry cell battery, and in 1896, the dry cell battery gets its first commercial. In 1896, the National Carbon Company created the first commercially available battery to be sold in the U.S. The National Carbon Company later became known as Eveready Battery Company, which is also now known as Energizer.
Carl Gassner was a scientist that was born in Mainz, Germany. He worked alongside George Leclanche, and they got the Leclanche wet cell. Carl Gassner had his battery patented from Austria to the US.
A dry cell battery is essentially comprised of a metal electrode or elemental carbon surrounded by a moist electrolyte paste enclosed in a metal cylinder. In the most common type of dry cell battery, the cathode is composed of a form of elemental carbon called graphite, which serves as a solid support for the reduction half reaction. A thin zinc cylinder serves as the anode, and it undergoes oxidation. It has an electrolyte immobilized as a paste with only enough moisture in the paste to allow current to flow. ¿En qué usan las baterías?
Hay diferentes estilos de baterías. Hay baterías para carros, para las flashlight, para cámaras. La batería es muy necesaria para toda fuente de energía, para cualquier aparato.
Sí. ¿Qué pasaría si un carro no tuviera una batería?
Pues, como vuelvo a repetir, es una fuente de energía, entonces el carro no prendería, no tendría los servicios, todo lo eléctrico del vehículo, y no prendería el vehículo. Es para que el vehículo arranque, funcionen luces y los accesorios, radio y todo del vehículo.
Now that you've heard of the mechanic and his theory of what would happen to a car if it didn't have a battery, so now I'm going to show you the battery itself.
Conrad Hubert, known as the founder of the Eveready Battery Company, invented the electric hand torch, also known as a flashlight, which was a dry cell battery, a bulb, and a rough brass reflector inside a paper tube.
What do you use batteries for?
In my Game Boy.
My taser.
Xbox 360 controller.
Remote controls?
In my watch?
And my cell phone.
In the time back before batteries, people needed to resort to using wall outlets for the only source of energy. Doing this meant that there was no portability in their energy. Since there was no portability, gas lamps were the only source of portable lighting.
We now have a way to store energy for later use. We are now also able to use portable electronics instead of using plug-ins. This type of battery is also used now in cars because they're cheap and easy to recharge.